Hello, I'm here today with Jamie Munn. She's a national life purpose coach and speaker. She works with women who are tired of being complacent in their lives and in their work, who really want to feel like there's something more that they want to create in this world. Jamie helps clients step into action towards their possibilities and holds them accountable for following through with their vision. So Jamie, thank you for being here with us today. I'm excited because you're going to give us 6 steps to really having a more fulfilled, happier life. And I think a lot of us, we get into this rut, into this routine where we're just kind of going through the motions, but we don't really step back and say, am I really living my passion? Am I really fulfilled? Am I really happy?
Right.
And so tell me, what's your first step towards being more fulfilled?
Great. Well, we have to look at what areas of our life we're kind of missing that in. So I like to identify, the word I use is complacent, because it's not that we're unhappy and it's not that something's wrong, it's just that it's just kind of existing. So where in your life are you complacent? What areas? Is it in your relationships with your parents, with your husband, with your siblings, or someone else in your life? Maybe with yourself. Are you complacent in your work, in your career, in your business? If you own your own business, are you just kind of letting it exist? Maybe you're complacent spiritually. Maybe you're complacent in your home, you know, your surroundings, your apartment, your condo, whatever it is that you have. So identify that.
So once we realize we're complacent, then what do we need to do then?
Well, if we know where we're at and we know we don't want to be there, we have to identify where we want to go. Where do you want to be? If you had a relationship that was fulfilling to you, what would it look like? If you had a career which really excited you, what would that look like? And identify, well, gosh, what do I want? What would be exciting? And I think that's really the key word.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So it's really having that end in mind, having a picture of what would it look like. Now, this scares me because I have this end here and this is where I am, and there just seems to be such a large gap. How do I even begin to start to live that life that you're picturing?
It comes back to that phrase, how do you eat an elephant? And you eat it one bite at a time. So taking that big, huge, ominous vision and breaking it down into something teeny and tiny and manageable is key. Because if you're always looking at how ominous this thing is, you're never going to get there. But if you can break it down into something like, what can I do today? Maybe if I'm thinking about going into nursing, maybe I'll jump on the internet for 20 minutes today and I'll see what my options are. Or maybe if I'm thinking about buying a house, I'll just kind of pop on Craigslist and see what houses are going for these days.
So just taking a step by step, it seems it's not so much the jump, it's just one step forward, one step forward. I like before we were talking about just what can I do in the next 24 hours? In the next 24 hours, what can I do to take a step closer to having that dream life?
Sometime,
So then what is our third step?
You gotta do it! So having these actions, these steps, these strategies is great, but you gotta do it, otherwise what's the point? So get an accountability partner. That's what I really find to be useful. We're used to being accountable, you know, when we're kids, we're accountable to our parents, then to our teachers, and then we get a job and we're accountable to our boss. So we're not used to being accountable to ourselves. Nobody's really taught us how to do that. So if that's something you're not good at, find somebody else in your life who you can be accountable to. It could be a friend, it could be a business associate, someone who also is aspiring towards their vision, so you can hold them accountable, they can hold you accountable.
And I like this because I think as women, we are so accountable to other people. We're accountable to our husband. Our children can depend on us. Our church can depend on us. The PTA can depend on us. And yet when we say to ourselves, we're going to do something, we let ourselves off the hook.
Yeah.
So I love that idea of having a real power partner.
Back burner. Everything gets on the back burner when it comes to ourselves.
So then what's your next step?
Well, with this accountability partner, you're going to be making appointments with them and checking in with them. But there's going to be slip-ups and there's going to be challenges and there's going to be parts where it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. So enjoy that journey, because it's not all going to be peaches and cream, but enjoy the process. Like, I like to kind of just put myself in this third-person perspective and look down at this movie that I've created for myself and say, oh, look, you know, she's getting stuck there. What's she going to do? You know, is she going to jump through that fear? Is she going to let it hold her back? And, okay, well, she let it hold her back this time, but what is she going to do to go around it? And, you know, watching yourself as you experience your experiences, as you go through your journey, and just being patient with yourself and being understanding, not beating yourself up, and just enjoying the ride.
And I like that idea of enjoying the journey. I'm a very goal-oriented person. I'm fixated on getting to that goal and forgetting that you got to enjoy getting to the goal.
Yes.
So I love that idea. And then what is your...
Because that's life. Life is that process.
Yeah, you get to the goal and go, what was that for?
Or now what?
Right, that now what? Absolutely. So what's your last tip?
Well, I like...
this is my favorite one.
It's actually an Anthony Robbins concept, I think, and he calls it the rocking chair test. So the rocking chair test is when you're in the evening of your life and you're looking back on what was my life about and how was that and what did I think and what did I do? Are there regrets there? So is this thing that you're pondering, this thing that you're saying, hey, I want to do this. If you're sitting there in your rocking chair looking back, are you going to regret not having done it? Because there's that other quote, I can't remember who wrote it, but it's not the things that you do that you end up regretting, it's the things that you don't do that you end up regretting. So if this isn't going to pass that rocking chair test, if you don't do it, then get on that horse and start on that journey.
So now as a life coach, if I'm saying, okay, I acknowledged areas that I'm complacent, I'm ready to make some changes, what are the benefits for me to actually start working with a life coach?
Great. Well, you're going to get the results. Life coaches are trained to keep you on path. They're trained to keep you in that journey and not let your excuses get in the way, because we let our excuses get in the way. It's human nature. So a life coach is going to hold you accountable for that follow through. They're trained to help you get through the fears. They're trained to help you get through the insecurities and the blocks. And taking those small steps as you go along, having that person there to support you, having that person there to say, yeah, I believe you can do this. And if it's going to fulfill you, if it's going to excite you, heck yeah, do it. And she's there for that journey with you.
And I love that idea. I didn't even know that life coaches actually went to school and were trained in this and really teach you how to set goals and how to dream and to have that mentorship, really.
Yeah, right.
Well, Jamie, we're so glad that you stopped by today. And you can find out more about Jamie at her contact information, which is listed below. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.